B,
though?
what up, though?
What up?
Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome to Bears Banter, week number 8. Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. This is the pregame show. Tonight you have myself, Bernard Muhammad, Keith Flournoy, Jay Beasley, Tammy Harris, and Guy Moore. How everybody doing?
What though?
Good.
Oh, I'm good.
Y'all doing
I'm
good?
good. I'm good.
Okay, we'd like
No
to welcome the
complaints.
viewers that's out there that's watching on YouTube and who's watching on Facebook.
What's
We
up,
have,
y'all?
yeah,
What's up, y'all?
thank you for tuning in. Okay, hey, we're gonna have a interesting game this Sunday after we seen what happened in the last game against the Rams. We're gonna face a future Hall of Famer and Drew Brees. So we know there's gonna be plenty of offense unless we're able to get at the team. If not, it's gonna be a long day. So let's jump into the subject today, like we always do. What do the Bears need to do to win this game? Let me bring that question up. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to absorb that.
Have a different team show up. No, I'm just joking.
You want to start off, guy? What do the Bears need to do to win against the Saints?
Tag on it. You know what? This is going to be really interesting. And the reason why it's interesting is if you look at Drew Brees' stats, he's got 1,618 yards. He's got 11 TDs and 3 interceptions. But I'm looking at the receiver numbers. Your running back is leading his team in receptions as well as rushing yards. And I'm looking up, and it's like he's like one of those guys. It's a very unpredictable guy. You know how you have your favorite targets. I know Alvin Kamara was one of his guys. He's probably catching them on short passes and getting yards after carry. But Drew Brees is one of those dudes that's like he never gets set in a certain type of pattern, like a certain target. It's not like, okay, I'm just going to keep this guy's open. Everybody's active in the offense, so it's like you don't know. So a whole lot of that disguising defenses like the cover one or whatever it is and bouncing the cover two and different types of things. They're going to have to really switch it up. But most importantly, I mean, he's been sacked 8 times. They're going to have to get to this dude, man, because he's an old guy, but Hall of Famer, real deal. We got to get to Drew Brees.
Okay, we got to get to Drew Brees. That's the main point you wanted to make. Tammy, you up next?
Well, for us to have a half a chance to win this game, half a chance to win this game, the defense got to show up. To Guy's point, you know, they have to rush Drew Brees and they have to get to him and stop him from scoring. Since we can't find a run game, Nick Foles has got to be consistent and on target with his passing game. I did look up something, and it did say that, if I remember right, that the Saints weren't great against the passing game. I think that so if Nick Foles can connect and be consistent, then maybe we have a half a chance, and the defense has got to show up and shut them down as much as possible.
Okay, so defense got to show up and shut them down. That's the point you want to make. What about you, Jay?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Jay, man. I had to do it. I had to get my one out there. I feel better.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. In order for us to win this game, the head coach / play caller gotta be able to put a good game plan together. The Bears offense can actually move the ball against this defense. The Saints are last in the red zone. So, you know, the Bears are good for moving 20 to 20. Once they get in the red zone, they can't score. But against this team, if you get in the red zone, we should be able to score. I think Jimmy Graham should be a big part of this offense this week. We got a couple of injuries. Cody Whitehair is out. And James Daniels is out. So we got 2 subs on the offensive line. But and not to mention Allen Robinson might not play this week because he had a concussion protocol.
Right.
But I just think that Coach Nagy has got to call a game once again that he see in front of him. The conditions are going to be kind of bad in Soldier Field this week because they talk about 25 to 30 mile per hour winds, which will kind of halt the Saints passing game. The Saints are going to be without Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. So Alvin Kamara is going to be their biggest threat. So if we can control the clock and control Alvin Kamara, I really think we're going to be okay.
Okay. So Bears, one of your points is the Bears got some injuries. So does the Saints, so some key players. So we could play good defense, and because both teams look like they're going to be running based off the weather. Great point. What about you, Keith?
I think the Bears have to be ready to respond to the playground bully. Last week, they got beat up so completely in front of everybody in the nation. They have to come back and respond in order to get some of their manhood back. So the good thing about this week's game is it's not a continuation of last week's game. You don't get to start off with the points that you gave up or that you scored in the week before. So it's going to be a fresh new game. The other good thing is New Orleans has really had their way with the Bears the last few times that they played them. So they're going to have to come up with a different response to them. And I think the Bears are in a better position, especially because we keep running into all these people that are already bruised up. Thanks, Jay, for talking about Michael Thomas. He's big with those guys. He's a really big factor. He's not going to be out. So I think the Bears can just play their regular game if they actually play it, and they got a decent chance of coming away with a win on this one.
Okay, great point. Yeah, hey, I see Hampton has joined the broadcast. Hold on tight. I'll bring you in a few minutes. My point is about the Bears. What the Bears need to do, just to kind of add on to what everybody else said, the Bears have to play defense first because they have absolutely no offense. So they're gonna have to play good defense. And what's really gonna be key is the injuries on both sides. With Allen Robinson, if he doesn't play, I don't see the Bears being productive at all on offense. If he doesn't play, but let's keep our fingers crossed that he does play. But Saints are missing some key people as well. But as long as they play good defense and try to contain Drew as much as they can, and the Bears got to run the ball. I know they can't run. I know their line is no good, but they got to run. They got to scheme up runs. Just like you scheme a receiver open, they're gonna have to scheme up a run game. I don't know if you got to bring one of those guys that that's usually on the offensive line, that's maybe on the practice squad. Bring them in, play fullback or something. You have to run some 2 tight end sets or something, but you got to scheme up a way to run, and you got to commit to it. That's the only way I see the Bears winning.
Well, I think.
What was that, Jay?
I think. No, I was going to say. I think the bottom line is the intangibles are in the Bears' favor in this game. The intangibles are in their favor because
yes, they are.
The Saints defense.
Yeah.
Up front is pretty good, but they not unsolvable. So the intangibles are in the Bears' favor. But like I say, if you can create some kind of run game, it'll open up your play action. And if you can't play action, then you can't pass. So if they can open up somewhat of a run game, I think they say Lamar Miller is going to be active this week. Which I would love to see him get a couple of carries.
Yep, that's big.
So we can see what he can do. I'll hold my prediction, but the intangibles to me are in the Bears' favor in this game.
Absolutely. You know what? That's interesting that you say that, man, because really, if you look at it, and I will take a word from our illustrious host, Keith Flournoy, their defense is paltry. It really is. And you know what? And to be perfectly honest, if you really, the way that you're able to kind of get back off the schneid is take a team like this, regardless of how bad they are. If you can have some success running the ball, it does a lot for the psyche. It does a lot for the psyche, man. It's like people say, "Oh, well, you ain't done nothing. You ran against a bad team." But when I last checked, and you watch SportsCenter, at the end of the day, you give up 99 points. But if you got 100, it's a W.
You're right. Yeah. Another point, I wanted to make is they're playing against a warm weather dome team that has to come to Chicago when the wind is coming off that lake. That has a bit of a factor as well. So let's see what's going on with this.
Okay, that's a great point. Hey, let me read some stats. Just hold on, DeMarian. We'll be coming to you shortly. Let me read a few stats right here. Since somebody mentioned Saints defense, the Saints defense is ranked 7th, but they're giving up 29 points a game. I mean, that's a lot of points to be ranked ranked 7th.
Yes.
The Bears defense is ranked 10th, and they're giving an average of 20 points a game. The Saints.
How are they doing these rankings?
That's a great point. Some of it is based off yards. It's not all based on scoring, but some of it's yards. Cornerback against the pass. How you play against, so it's like a lot of different things, but that's a great point because if they're giving up 29 points in rank 7, that's
terrible. That's a terrible metric.
That's misleading. The Saints offense is ranked number 11, and they're averaging 30 points a game. The Bears offense is ranked 29th, and they're giving up 19.7 points a game. And let's look at common opponents. Both teams have beat the Bucks. Both teams have beat the Lions. Both teams have beat Carolina Panthers. Okay, the Saints are 4-2, and the Bears is 5-2. The only uncommon opponent that they have not played was the Saints, and their other victory was against the Chargers. Yeah. The Bears' 2 victories that was not a common opponent was the New York Giants and the Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was just a few little stats I wanted to share before we get to football 101 and our predictions.
Hey, football 101 with a quarterback.
Yeah,
he's on your side, Jay.
I know.
Yeah, we getting him a few minutes. He's getting his haircut right now. So,
and of course, I got one caveat that I need to.
Caveat. This week's caveat bonus sponsored by Jay.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a choice today. Do y'all want to look at where we at in the ranking first before you give your predictions, or do you want to give your predictions first? Put a little pressure on you.
We still 2 games ahead. It don't matter.
But you know what? Let's do the predictions first, and then get a record. But I do want to get this caveat that Jimmy Graham and Akeem Hicks is playing against their former team Sunday. So Jimmy Graham is gonna be big, but I hold it. Jimmy Graham gonna be big this week. He's gonna be big this week.
Okay. So we're going to the moment of truth. Hold on. That actually should be. Let me edit that. Let me go back to that. That actually should be game number 8, week 8. That is it's actually week 7 for us, the Saints, though. There we go. What is your prediction in game 8? The Bears versus the Saints. Who wants to go first? We all can't talk at the same time.
I'll go first. I'm fine with that.
You go first? Okay.
My prediction is the Saints 13, Bears 20.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I got the Bears pulling this one out.
Okay.
As we said, I don't think the Saints are that impressive. and the Bears just got slapped around in front of their girlfriend at the playground. This the next week. You want to get another girlfriend to get that one back, you got to show up a little bit different. So
What's up about the cat in the
let's
oven?
see what happens.
What's up with that? What about the cat in the oven today, Plank?
Yeah, right.
About the cat in the oven?
It depends on what you put inside the cat.
Yeah, but if you put a miniature schnauz in there, it don't make him a hot dog either.
Right. Hey, who wants to go next? Pressure. Okay, Gabe.
I'll go.
You're up, guy.
I can't see, you know what? Our defense is good. I think we're going to neutralize. What's interesting is Drew Brees has been able to have a 4-2 record with having his running back be the lead receiver as well as rusher. So it leads me to believe that he's like doing a lot of dink and dunk. I haven't seen that many Saints games, but I've seen Drew Brees 1,000 times, and he's accurate. He's one of those guys that doesn't really gamble. I want to say Bears 27, Saints 24.
Bears
27. Okay. Defensive scores, right? And the defense did score last week.
Oh, yeah, the defense is going to score.
Okay, get the tops up between Tammy and Jay. Tammy, like, I'm getting out of here.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Jay.
Okay, because I for some reason I lost my Bluetooth. I got a call, but I ain't hear a lot of other people's predictions. But it's funny y'all actually picked the Bears. I can't believe it. I just knew I was gonna be the only one. But I'm not the Bears. 14-10. I think the elements from the weather is going to prevent a lot of what Sean Payton and Drew Brees want to do. And I think the Bears are some kind of way going to redeem themselves. I think Nagy, after Monday night, I think he kind of going to have them a little bit fired up, and they playing at home. So I'm going to pick the Bears 14-10.
Okay, 14-10. Tammy, you're up.
I'm so torn. Lord, I'm torn. Okay, I will. I'll go with the Bears. 21-17.
21-17.
That's what's up.
Okay. And let me do a recap. We got Plank picked the Bears 20-13. Jay picked the Bears 14-10. Tammy picked the Bears 21-17. Guy picked the Bears 27-24. What did I pick?
You didn't pick yet.
You didn't pick yet. And he's going to be like, ooh, look, I caught up.
Can I recuse myself this week? Just give me a win.
24-10. The Saints.
All right. Okay.
Ooh.
Yo, Tammy. Pick up some ground. Come on.
Hey, I knew we was going to get somebody to pick the Saints. I'm surprised he ain't the only one.
Oh, I was just going to pick against whatever y'all picked. To get a bigger lead.
Oh, man.
But here's my thing, though. A lot of it has to do with you ever see those boxes that they don't even give a chance to win? Guy comes out who's supposed to win. He got his little cha-cha music and got all his little mermaids and all types of bells and whistles. And then you get that one dude to come out, ain't got no music, ain't got no rope, just got his trunks on, his gloves, which is silence. That's how the Bears got to come out. They got to come out with a level of humility. And even if they can't fire themselves up, somebody just need to just get out there on defense when they about to hike out and just get up and say, "What you say about my mama?" You know what I'm saying? Just something. It seems kind of stupid, but sometimes the littlest stuff will fire you up, man. They really need that right now, man, because this is gonna be one.
Right. Okay. Hey, we about to segue into football 1-on-1 in a few minutes, but let me recap where we at. So
I think Tammy had a point that she was going to.
Oh, yeah, Tammy, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say I got people starting to show up, so I actually got to drop because I'm having a little impromptu gathering, real small, for my birthday.
All right. Hey, enjoy your
Happy
birthday.
All right, be
birthday
safe.
to
Happy
you.
birthday. Happy
Birthday
birthday.
to you. Happy
See y'all
birthday
later.
to you.
All
All
right. Happy
right,
25th birthday.
25-year-old.
Happy
Yeah,
Happy
25th birthday.
25th.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll catch you later.
Okay. All that screen
Quad
for a little
squad.
bit. Okay.
Make my
Hey,
head
let's.
look bigger than it was.
Yeah, the screen shift. So right now, hey, either I'm gonna catch up or I'm gonna fall farther behind. Tammy is 4-3. Jay is 3-4. I'm 3-4. Guy's 4-3, and Plank is 4-3. So after this week, either y'all gonna be 5-3, or I'm gonna be 4-4.
Time.
That's what I'm talking about.
All time.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, so let's get ready for football 101.
Yes.
All right.
DeMarian Hampton.
Quarterback play. What?
Yeah, quarterback play. Let me see if he's ready. I know he was getting his haircut.
There he is.
There he is. Hey,
The
hey,
man, the myth, the legend.
you might have to rotate a little bit. Your camera is getting a lot of light in it. There you go.
That's much better.
That's much
Yeah,
better.
perfect.
Yep. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me. I'm
What's
sorry.
up, brother?
But,
Okay.
hey,
Nice haircut too.
Oh yeah. So hey, what I want you to do is, can you tell us, like, when did you first start playing football? When did you first start playing quarterback? What high school you played for? What college? And talk about your. Are you still coaching high school football? And why you decided not to play Arena League football as an introduction? There's all yours. Take over.
No pressure. A lot of things you want to know though,
A lot
right?
of things.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Again, thanks for having man, you guys did a phenomenal job. Again, thanks for having me. Football, where did it start? Honestly, football for me, I was a late homer compared to guys that's been playing for some time. I didn't start football until 8th grade. I played in the neighborhood growing up. We played flag. We played Killer Man when we was younger. And there's a lot of value to that. But that I digress going into that. But I started in 8th grade. I played quarterback from day one, and that gave me a good foundation to go into high school. And I went to Julian High School on the far south side of Chicago. Legacy and history there. I got there, had a pretty good career at Julian High School. Sophomore year, top player in the top 100 players in the nation. Didn't get things done academically. Had a good 4 years there. Ended up going JUCO after high school, College of DuPage. And after, COD, I played as a freshman. I was 17 years old, starting with, grown men. That transition, I transferred into McMurray College in Jacksonville, where I did a bulk of, I had a bulk of success there. Till today, I still hold passing records there with touchdown passes and yards for the season. And, career just, took off. I came back home to North Park University, and that was the time where I, really knew that I wanted to get into coaching, because I've traveled, played college football, and I've seen quarterbacks, in particular black quarterbacks, and something that we lack is fundamentals. And I love my coaches to death. They were all great people and great individuals. However, I didn't get that foundation or that the fundamentals of playing quarterback until college, to be honest. And so we talk about arena football. Thanks for bringing that up. I played arena football for about 2 months with the Chicago Blitz, and it was a great experience. However, arena didn't fit my skill set. Arena is it's a small field. The game is extremely quick, and I'm not a mobile guy. I was I guess fans will say the language used in football is that pocket, and it you know, it just didn't correlate for me in arena football. And at that time in my life, love for the game, and I always told myself, when I lose love for, you know, the daily, you know, getting dressed, putting cleats on, going to practice, you know, recovery, when I lose the love for that, I would stop playing football. And I was at the point, and I had to give it up because you know, when you get to that point, you're going to get hurt or you're going to get someone else hurt.
That's definitely when it's time to get out. When you lose the love for the game, so to speak, as far as like putting on the pads and putting on the cleats every day, that's definitely a time just to be like, you know what, it is what it is. I had fun, I enjoyed it, but this is not for me no more. So I hear you on that point. What I want to ask you is, first of all, what year you went to Julian, and when you left Julian?
I came out of Julian in 2005, so I was there 01, 05.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you knew school. Okay. Okay. Not to put it that way, because my brother actually went to Julian and he played under J Dub. So I was just trying to find out when you, you know, what year you went there.
That Julian history is rich. It's nothing like
it's
John.
Rich. It's rich.
Yeah,
it's some players that came up out of J Dub system.
Yeah. So
it's rich.
Coach J Dub Smith, his nephew, actually coached me my last year in high school. Coach Derek Johnson, Coach DJ.
Okay.
Hey, we actually going to try to bring on another Julian alumni in a few weeks. Vazik. I keep forgetting Vazik's real name. Kevin Murray.
Kevin.
Right.
He was. I knew Vazik. I heard of Vazik before I met him in college. I actually remember Vazik because that was the first time I ever seen black football players on TV, and they was on the Ray Rayner show, and they won a championship. And I remember us in the neighborhood, even though I lived in Inglewood. Man, it was like the neighborhood school had won when Julian had won, and I just remember he introduced himself as Vazik. And I was like, man, what kind of name is that?
They had the greatest names, though. You know about Physique, Crazy Horse, Super Toe. You knew these guys like they were legends. So that was
and I think radio host Mac McGill for WVON he played on that team too. Yeah,
right.
What you gonna say, Jay?
And no, I was gonna say, you know what? And it's something when you got guys calling a guy named Physique.
Right.
It was aptly named. Okay.
Physique. I'm a man Physique. But yeah.
No, but that's that type of dude that you heard somebody say something about what you call my mama. I'm gonna whoop his name. What's his name? His name is Zeke.
And you know, and let me not forget, even though I was a running back in high school, my favorite running back to actually go watch. I didn't go watch anybody else run except Carl Boyd.
Carl Boyd, that's
right. That's big, man. Yeah,
he's a judge now, but Carl was the only running back that we played against him, but I used to go watch games of Carl. I mean, because he was an incredible running back. But let's get back to you. I have a question, and the guys, they may have some more questions before you get to the meat of what you want to talk about. I had this question. What's the difference between the shotgun formation and the pistol formation?
Sure. The major difference is it really comes down to style and approaches. So just to give a little background of the pistol was originated with Nevada, with Colin Kaepernick, college coach, Coach Alt, I believe his name. Don't quote me on that. But that pistol offense was started there, and it fit his style of play. And the difference between the shotgun and the pistol is, most coaches, they scoot the quarterback up about 2 yards. So they're about 3 yards behind the center with a back about 2 yards behind the quarterback. And that slight difference is the shotgun quarterback, the heels are at 5, and the running back is to the left, right of the quarterback. if any running back is back there. But that's the major difference is the back being behind the quarterback, pistol, and shotgun. The quarterback is heels are at 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great answer because I know I had started hearing about a pistol formation, and I didn't know quite what was the difference between the pistol
And a
and the
shotgun.
shotgun because both in both formation the guy was not on the center. So thank you for that clarity on that. Frank, what's your question?
Yeah, I had a question. So does that give you the ability to do more RPO options? Because that would have fit Kaepernick's style. You know, the ability to hold that linebacker by faking like he's gonna not making a decision on whether or not he's gonna run the ball or give it to the running back.
Absolutely. You're right on. This I say new age, like I'm not, a part of this new age of football, but a lot of football now don't read where you have the athletic, and that's where it originated. If we go back to that when Colin Kaepernick had success with the 49ers and winning a lot of football games, they were in the pistol. They gave Kaepernick the option to hand it off or keep. And it's just football doesn't change.
Right.
You guys talk about, when you guys play triple option football. That's all we're watching right now is triple option football. And shotgun, it was difficult to run your mid lines or your veer option out of shotgun. But in pistol, it gives you the ability to run old school. I'm a product, going back to Julian High School. Brown 10, orange 10, that was just triple option football. The inside run, you read the end crash, you pull, and you pitch to the back coming around. So pistol gives you the opportunity to do that. So you're right on. You're able to read and utilize your court and option reads and RPO, run pass options.
Okay.
All right.
You're right. I have a question.
What's your question?
I have a question. Man, thanks for all your tutelage, man. Thanks for putting us on as far as tell us what you are and everything you've done, man. We proud of you, man. Chi-Town raise up. It don't matter what school you come from, man. You came out of here and you did your thing, man. It's much respect to you. My question to you is, what would you say as far as for your skill set and your preference, what was your favorite type of offensive set?
Yeah. I'll be honest. As a quarterback, a lot of people think, you want to spread them out and have 3, 4, 5 receivers out there and throw the ball around. But man, playing football, I'll just say, go to college football on Saturdays. Man, on Sunday, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. Them guys that drop back 30 and 35 times. I'm not even going to count the sacks, but just think about the knockdowns. That's a lot of pressure and get knocked down a lot. I'm a fan of power football, establishing a run. I love to get downhill because when you do pass, it makes things a lot easier. So in college, my first year of college, I was this was my first time in a spread offense. And my coach at the time was a guy named Steve Kazar. And Steve Kazar was he was a special teams assistant for Chicago Bears for the '85 Bears. And from coaching, he inherited some playbook from the Colts, and he was big on spread offense. We have 4 and 5 receivers. We want to go. You guys get upset at Coach Nagy. Kazar was Coach Nagy before Nagy was Nagy. We were on the 4 and 3 yard line. He had 4 receivers and still trying to throw the ball, and it was tough, man. It was tough. So in short, I am my core is running a football, getting an I formation. A lot of people say that's old school now.
Yes.
Formation, and you can play action.
It works. It works.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's big, man. Yes.
Hey, D-Ham, you mentioned earlier when you talked about fundamentals, quarterback fundamentals, and you was talking about I guess in general, some of the Chicago public schools, just to put it specifically, some of the black schools where fundamentals are not taught to the quarterbacks. When you say fundamentals are not taught, I mean, what do you mean by that? I mean, is that footwork? Is that how you hold a ball? I mean, what does that mean? Fundamentals, you know. I mean, I know it's more to just throwing a ball, just catching it and throwing it. I mean, can you break that down a little bit?
Sure. Thanks for that. It starts, you know, real simple, like any other position. Your feet and your base. That's what it comes down. And that footwork is everything. You know, we talk about accuracy. If 9 times out of 10, when I was coaching my high school quarterbacks, I don't even have to look at, you know, the pass. I can watch my quarterback as he drop back and watch his feet, and I'm almost certain that I can tell if the pass was accurate just by looking at their feet. So it always starts with feet for me and work the way up. So we're talking repetition. Just those reps are important. And when I talk about, you know, high school football in Chicago Public League, a lot of times we don't spend enough time focused on that position, and just reason, you know, our coaches that they're just not, you know, knowledgeable or don't have it, and that's fine. And that's, you know, that's why, you know, I wanted to dedicate my life to coming back. I will coach quarterbacks for free, train for free, and I know as guys I'm getting paid major money off showing them, you know, ABCs of playing quarterback. But it's so nutty to jump in there. It starts with the feet. Footwork is everything. You know, ball placement, elbows, and I don't want to take it because I did come up in an era, and you know, you guys seen it, the Doug Williams of the world, the black who had success, but they were titled, you know, prototype quarterback. What we're seeing now is a guy like Lamar Jackson, a guy like, I'll be honest with you, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't exist 10, 15 years ago.
Right. You're absolutely right.
If guys seen Patrick Mahomes' mechanics, they would have wrote him off, and, you know, Patrick Mahomes probably be somewhere playing baseball because they would have wrote him off because of his mechanics, his throwing, you know, his throwing motion. That's not what you want to see. Well, that's not what the NFL thought a quarterback was, that prototypical quarterback. Yeah, I talked about mechanics, and I didn't, you know, go into the detail, but I hope I answered the question.
I had one more question for him as well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jay. Go for it.
I'm sorry, Kiki. D-Hap, I got a question for you because this has been my theory for like the last 5, 6, 7 years. Do you agree or disagree that colleges now don't prep quarterbacks for the NFL game? Because, as you said, everybody now got these spread offenses where these guys are coming in the NFL and they really can't read a defense. It's like
ding, 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 ding.
they putting their best athlete at quarterback. And they said, you know what? Find the open guy. If you don't find him, use your legs and get us a first down. Right. Because the college game has changed so much. Because it's about winning and it's about revenue. And so do you agree with me that it's just like they not prepping these kids for the NFL games like they used to do back in the day? The last, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, the last quarterback that actually got drafted in the first round that was absolutely ready coming out of pro-style offense was Andrew Luck. You got the Patrick Mahomes of the world. You got the Lamar Jacksons. You got the Deshaun Watsons, because they're great athletes and they're able to adapt. But they wasn't really taught how to play the position to adapt to the NFL game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say I agree. You threw a lot of things out that I would agree with you 100% that revenue, being asked to come and play right away. So we're talking about generational talents right now, Jay. And these generational talents, they have to play. They have to play. A guy like Patrick Mahomes, guys like Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, NFL coaches, and they are going on record saying this. NFL coaches are literally going to visit universities to learn systems. We are seeing collegiate coaches coming to the NFL with success. I don't know if you guys watched the Arizona Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It was a thriller, wasn't it?
That was so the system is air raid. That air raid system is all throughout college football. So we're seeing guys like Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, who ran systems in college and it's translating to the NFL. Now, the biggest difference is the NFL, they're finally making that adjustment because it was so many players coming to the NFL not prepared.
Right.
So they had to do something.
Right.
And this is their mode. Just think back, and I don't want to get too far off topic. Let's just go back to Michael Vick, right? Michael Vick, probably one of the best athletes to play professional football. Let's try to think, what if someone would have ran that style of offense in the National Football League?
NFL, right?
Because the critics were, just like you said, they said Michael Vick couldn't read defenses. He didn't have to for what? He spent 3 or 4 years at Virginia Tech. He didn't have to read a defense for 3 years, and now we're going to ask him to do so now. He got back off his athletic ability, and that's tough. That's tough, and that's just one example. There are guys who, I think would have translated great to the NFL had the National Football League made, adjusted to their style of play. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. This is Football 101. Let's take you back a little bit historically where we were. We started out with the linebackers and Jason Williams kind of talked about linebacker play. Then Jay actually started talking about receiver route trees and how wide receivers play a role in that. Last week, I kind of broke into defensive zones. Now that we got a quarterback, what I want to know is, how do you develop a rapport with the receiver to determine where they need to go to fit in to get under the zone? Because that's something that's still unclear to me. We talked about zone defense yesterday. Last week, Jay kind of talking about breaking off his route. How do the quarterback and the receiver do they signal each other? Do you just know who he is? How do you get to that level of rapport?
Thank you. We got the offense in control tonight. Go ahead, D.
What? That's a great question.
Tell them what this soft zone is.
So I will start with hand signals, right? And I'll go with pre-snap and post-snap. So pre-snap, we come out, let's just say, Jay, you line up at receiver out there, I'm at quarterback, and the first thing a quarterback, they notice are the safeties. So we have one high, and this, I teach freshman quarterbacks this day one. You have one high safety or two high safeties. So a quarterback come out and they see, let's say, two high safeties. Jay, if we have something, going on, maybe we want to run a slant, or we want to run an end breaking route because we know that the middle of the field is open. Because odds are, if it's two high safeties, the safeties are dropping to the hash. And I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible. So it's middle of the field open with two high safeties.
Cover two?
Yep. So coverage you'll see is cover two. You can see some cover four. A lot of people are playing, this six coverage or just rolling safeties. But you see safeties that's dropping to the hash. But let's keep it at cover two, where we have safety dropping to the hash and the middle of the field is open. So I'm going to, me and Jay sees this, we have pre-snap signals. I can, hit them with something like here, hit the top of my helmet, rub my leg, and Jay know, all right, whatever I was running that's dead, I'm running to my slant. The same thing for one high safety. One high safety, that's telling me that the middle of the field is closed. So now, if I can check to something that I want to get up the sideline, a slot receiver, they can probably go to the seam route. An outside guy probably want to run a fade or hitches or, quick outs or something like that because I know the middle of the field is closed.
Absolutely.
And that's the simpler way. And that's day one. You guys can, if you go out to a practice, a peewee practice, you see a quarterback, go to them and teach them, hey, you see one safety in the middle of the field, that's one high, and you don't have to go into coverage. That you don't have to tell them that's cover 3. You don't have to tell them that can be man 1 free. You can just say, hey, that's 1 high or 2 high, right? So that's pre-snap. Now we get into adjusting routes on the fly. I know you guys heard of
this is beautiful.
run and shoot offense, right?
Come on, what?
Yes.
Okay. So run and shoot is it's a lot of reps, and what we're seeing this West Coast system and I'm gonna bring it to the Bears because that's why we're here. Coach Nagy's system is a version of that West Coast run and shoot system. We're talking about from the 49ers back when Jerry Rice and Montana were playing. Their routes, they adjusted their routes on the fly. That takes a lot of reps. I know you guys been watching a football game and watching a receiver run a route and the quarterback throw the ball and the receiver's nowhere near the ball and it's an interception. And a lot of people, they're blaming the quarterback. What is he doing? But the reality is,
absolutely,
it is extremely difficult for these receivers to run routes and read the defense on the fly.
Yeah.
We're talking system football. We wonder why Bill Belichick go and cut players, and they are all of them been Pro Bowlers.
Yep.
It's because they're not getting the system, and if they're not picking up his system, he gets rid of them because it's just that difficult. Instead it's option routes.
Hey, D Hamp, I hate to cut you off. I know we ran out of time.
Thank you.
You know what? I mean, can you come back? I mean, I know we didn't finish. I mean, man, this is interesting, man. We was about to go another 20 minutes, but I didn't really want to all the time. Would you be willing to come back next week to do part 2? Okay, let's do part 2 next week, and we bring you back, man, because man, you was about to get into some stuff that I know a lot of people.
That's some football food right there. That's food right there.
Right. But I know a lot of people watch football and we think we know what's going on.
Right.
And sometimes we really don't know what's going on. And to hear you break down hand signals and all that and get into a soft zone. And last week, Plank talked about zones. And the week before, Jay gave us the zone tree. Man, let's get into that, man, because you know what? I'm an offensive guy. Jay's an offensive guy. You're an offensive guy. Guy's an offensive guy. And we got this one defensive guy all
like it. I think all y'all in the game like
it. I tell you, it's so sweet. It's so sweet when it all comes together.
I had a coach. He told me, he said, you know what? The defense can never be right. We're trained throughout the week.
Never.
The defense can never be right. We are adjusting to that defense.
Hey, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. The Bears Banter. We hope football 101 was right on point. Have a nice evening. Peace.
Appreciate it.
All right, peace, guys.
Man.
See, that's me.